Hello and welcome to GKL's review of the new Volvo V60 SE Nav twin engine plug-in hybrid. Volvo V60 twin engine. It's their plug-in hybrid. They also do the XC90 large 4x4, and they do another version of this, a more powerful version, but it's very expensive. So this is the first one where it's at a reasonable price point. Difference with this car is that it's a diesel compared to a lot of others in the same price bracket. The idea is to overcome the long distance fuel economy that other plug-in hybrids suffer with because they've got petrol engines. In the back is the electric motor and batteries. You do lose a little boot because of that, but not a great deal, so you've still got plenty of room. To charge the car, the socket on this one is in the front, much like the BMW. Charging cable is stored in the boot. It does have a place to charge. It's not as neat as the BMW, but at least it's away. To kind of overcome the fact that the charging port is on the wing, get the option of an 8-metre cable instead of a 5. It's a small cost option, but it's well worth doing. The charger that you get with the car is for a standard domestic supply, standard 3-pin plug. Now that goes into here. Okay, so yellow, ready for charging. Then so the flashing light at the moment denotes it's charging. When that's a solid green, that means it's charged. Once it's charged, switch off at the plug, unplug. Now sometimes it will lock itself into the car for security reasons, so you may need to unlock the car to remove. Put cap back in, and you're done. So drive modes on this car are pure electric, hybrid, and power. 3 buttons at the bottom denote that. So at the moment we're in the hybrid, so it's using both drives. Power uses both drives to give you most power, and then pure is just standard electric. So on the center display you can show what power is being used from which source. So at the moment, because we're in stop-start traffic in the city, we're in pure electric mode. This gives us our best chance of decent fuel consumption. Other engine modes which we'll show later are the hybrid, the power, and the battery save mode. Things to note with this particular car when driving in pure electric mode, there's a couple of things that it does well, some things that it doesn't do well. It's really good at how it uses its energy. It doesn't really use a lot after initial takeoff. Only thing on the downside though is that it doesn't regen on its own, so you've got to do it. So you've got to apply the brake to regen energy back into the battery, whereas some other models you've got a mode like the Mitsubishi and the Volkswagen system where it will do it for you, which takes a bit of getting used to. So now we're going to put the car into hybrid mode. So now it's using both the engine and the electric motor depending on conditions. The thing to note when driving this particular car in hybrid mode is that it uses quite a lot of electricity compared to other models. A lot of other models will tend to use the engine more if you do anything over driving Miss Daisy style driving. The Volvo though will push an awful lot in pure electricity before the engine kicks in. Now the only thing to find out, and I don't know if you'll hear this on the video, is what I will do in a moment, I'll show you the difference in noise, because at the moment it's whisper quiet like all electric vehicles. Other hybrids that are petrol, of course, use a quiet petrol engine. This has got a diesel, and I'll show you that as soon as I can. Okay, so now it's electric, and get ready. Still electric, still electric. And now it's diesel as well. So it's not that bad when you're rolling. We'll try and get some noise later when it's stationary. There's quite to regenerate some energy, because we're a bit low on battery. We've put it into battery save mode. So this is where the engine is not only driving the wheels but charging the battery. Traditionally, this is the worst thing you can do MPG wise, because the engine's doing two things at the same time. So your MPG is not going to be very good. So we'll see in a couple of minutes how much energy we can get back into the battery compared to how much driving we're doing. So we've been driving this on the motorway now for about 9-10 miles, and we've managed to add in battery save mode. We've gone from 3 miles to 12 miles of available battery. It seems to do it in chunks of 3, so it won't add it per mile, it'll add every 3 miles, and it's just tripped over into available 12 miles, which is pretty good. So at our favourite Ecotricity service station, and this car will plug via the AC socket from an Ecotricity pump. Again, it doesn't rapid charge. Another plug-in hybrid that's relatively new to the market that doesn't have the capability of rapid charging. Also, be careful how you park next to a station, because as you can see, the cable only just reaches, because it's quite a heavy duty cable, it doesn't flex a lot, so it only just gets into the socket. And of course, you know, when you think you've got the latest, greatest thing, then you go past the Tesla superchargers. But we will be doing a review on the Tesla Model S. Now, the final mode that we need to use, we don't need to use, but we will, is the power mode. So power mode, so this puts, as we can see on the graph, both motors and drivetrains working together to give you maximum power. You can also change the theme in the dashboard to a performance setting, which means it all goes red, and it says things like e-boost and power again. But you can change this to 4 different modes. Now in the middle in front of you, you can change the theme. At the moment we're in hybrid. What we'll do, we'll put it in performance as we're in power. And so you get different gauges. So on the left hand side you still get your electric gauge. So as you can see, it moves up and down the e-boost side. Then when you lift off and brake a little, it drops to show that you're regenerating energy. A lot of the other hybrids do this anyway, but Volvo decided that it needs to be a performance aspect of the vehicle. The gauge on the right hand side denotes whether you're using electrical energy or power. So when we put our foot down, then the bar rises into the hybrid, which kicks the engine in. When you drop it below that point, like that, it then cuts the engine off and you run it on electricity. For more information and leasing rates on this as well as other cars, go to gkluk.com or westwoodleasing.com.